Okay, so there's this massive shift happening, like right under our feet, and it's all about artificial intelligence. It's changing the very first step of a professional career. And trust me, this has some huge implications for all of us. Let's get into it.
We're going to start with a bombshell, and this isn't from some critic on the outside looking in. This is coming straight from Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, one of the biggest AI startups in the world. He's not just predicting a storm. He's basically telling us he's the one building the weather machine.
And you know what's so striking about this? It's where these warnings are coming from. They aren't coming from people outside of tech, nope. They're coming from the very engineers and executives who are creating these incredibly powerful tools.
I mean, talk about irony, right? Inside Anthropic, there's this real anxiety growing. The engineers building their AI, a tool named Claude, are starting to realize it could literally get rid of the junior roles that started their own careers. It's this crazy tension between the thrill of creating something new and the fear of what it destroys.
So, Anthropic did something pretty remarkable. They decided to turn all that nervousness into actual data. They ran a formal study on their own team, surveying 132 of their engineers to see exactly how much work they were already handing off to AI. They basically turned their company into a real-time experiment on the future of work.
And this was the headline number. Their engineers said they could already fully delegate up to 20% of their jobs to their AI. Now, this isn't some guess about the future. This is what's happening right now inside one of the most advanced AI labs on the planet.
So what kind of stuff are we talking about? Well, it's things like writing basic code, doing the documentation, running a first analysis. All the stuff that has traditionally been the training ground for new hires. It's how junior folks learn the ropes. So when you automate that, you have to ask, where does the next generation of senior talent even come from?
And that leads us to the bigger picture for the entire job market. We're not just talking about making senior people a little more efficient. We're talking about the potential for the very first rung of the professional ladder to just disappear.
It's a huge question, right? If AI automates the work that justifies hiring a recent grad, whether you're in law or finance or tech, how does anyone even start a career? The whole system we've built for creating experts could just break.
Now, not everybody in Silicon Valley sees it this way. There's a real debate going on. On one side, you have the CEO of Anthropic saying that job substitution is a massive risk. But on the other, you've got people like NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang. He argues that AI is just going to amplify us and create totally new jobs we can't even imagine yet, kind of like what spreadsheets did a few decades ago.
And this whole AI disruption, well, it isn't happening in a vacuum. It's actually crashing head-on into another big crisis that's been building for years. The simple fact that a college degree is getting more expensive and, frankly, less valuable.
For generations, a bachelor's degree was the golden ticket, right? It was the safest path to a good career. It sent a clear signal to employers. But that signal is getting a lot weaker, and the idea that a degree guarantees you a good job is really starting to fall apart. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. Research from the Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland found something pretty stunning. Historically, college grads found jobs way faster than high school grads. But since 2000, that advantage has been shrinking and shrinking, and today, the job finding rates are basically the same. That premium, it's gone. The numbers really do paint a pretty bleak picture. A quarter of all unemployed Americans now have a bachelor's degree. The unemployment rate for young people is way up. A shocking 1 in 4 graduates actually regret going to college, and most of them end up in jobs that don't even require the degree they just spent a fortune to get.
But as these old paths start to crumble, the job market is actually adapting. A new set of rules is being written, and employers are being really clear about what they actually want now.
Just look at this breakdown. In a survey of over 1,000 hiring managers, 7 out of 10 said they value relevant, practical experience more than a degree. What you can do is becoming way more important than what's on your diploma. The market is sending a clear message. Show me you can do the job, don't just tell me you study for it.
So this means we all need a new playbook. Success isn't about getting good grades anymore. It's about building a portfolio that proves you have the skills. It's about developing real capabilities, whether that's through a coding bootcamp or the skilled trades, where, by the way, there are tons of 6-figure jobs just waiting to be filled.
So let's zoom out one last time. This isn't just about our individual careers. The crazy fast rise of AI is pushing our whole society toward a massive crossroads. It's forcing us to look at some huge hidden costs and make some really big decisions about what kind of future we want.
And we can't ignore the environmental price tag here. The way the AI industry is growing, its annual impact could be like adding 10 million new cars to the road and using up all the water for 10 million people. I mean, those are staggering costs that have to be part of the conversation.
And that brings us to this final warning from Anthropic's chief scientist, Jared Kaplan. He says that by 2030, we are going to have to make the biggest decision about how to handle AI systems that are way, way smarter than what we have today. The choices we make in the next few years will define the next 100.
So, this is where we'll end. The old professional ladder, the one built on a degree and a nice clear path of entry-level jobs, it's breaking. A new one is being built in its place, with totally different rungs, requiring totally different skills. And the only question left is, are we ready to climb it?
Thanks for tuning into Jobs Are Gone with AI. Today we explored the warning from Anthropic CEO, AI could eliminate up to 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs. Is your degree still worth it in this new reality? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the future of work. See you in the next episode.